Hello there. So I'm doing, I'm currently in the middle of a reading series. I'm reading through this scholastic book called I Want to Go Home. It's a book for young adult men about camp. And so we're in the middle of it. We are currently in chapter 3. Chapter 4, Good, Clean, Wholesome Fun on page 41 for those who are following along. Let's get started.
I tell you, it's a box of dirt. Nothing but a box of dirt,
exclaimed Chip angrily. Pierre gasped in amazement at the box he had seen Rudy and Mike build. I thought they were just being snarky when they told me they were going to fill it with dirt, he said, shaking his head. They sure are strange kids, especially that Miller guy. No, especially that guy Miller.
Strange isn't the word I'd use for Miller, growled Chip. Crazy would be more like it.
He banged his fist on the table.
I don't like being lied to. They said they were building a solitaire. And this is what they hand me.
Pierre laughed out loud. And that is exactly what you got at Salette. He stopped to catch his breath. It's French. Chip. It means dirt. Chip was struck dumb. For a moment, he stared at the blue box as if hoping that the fury in his eyes would vaporize it. Then...
Of course I know what solitaire means. Of course I know.
No, we're going to play that again.
Of course I know that solitaire means dirt, he howled furiously. Do you think I'm stupid?
He stood up, his face bright red.
Excuse me, he said. I've got to do something back at the cabin.
And he went out the door of the mess hall on the dead run.
Miller!
He muttered as he headed down towards cabin 13.
Miller!
A steadily increasing roar met his ears as he ran. The general noise separated itself into individual shouting voices and falling furniture. He put on a burst of speed, rounded the sports equipment shed, and stopped short. Cabin 13 was teeming, both inside and out, with pajama-clad boys merrily swinging at each other with pillows amid a snowstorm of feathers. The ruckus had grown, and by now most of the camp was involved. Chip's anguished eyes caught sight of two figures sitting passively on the grass. He charged up, howling, Miller! What's going on here? I think it's a pillow fight, offered Rudy.
What are you doing out here?
I don't fight, said Rudy evenly.
Who started this?
Cried Chip frantically.
It was all Harold Green's fault,
tattled Rudy.
He jumped on Adam for no reason at all.
Arms flailing wildly, Chip rushed towards his cabin. He could not get near the door.
Break it up! Break it!
He was hit full in the face with a pillow, which exploded and sent more feathers flying everywhere. Chip came up sneezing and blowing short blasts on his whistle. And now, on his hands and his knees, he made another attempt to get up and get attempt to get inside cabin 13, sneezing and howling madly. Achoo, 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 achoo!
Rudy pointed towards the mess hall. Look, a thundering herd of clones, he observed. Now the feathers will really fly.
Mike, who had not stopped laughing since Harold Green's fall, could not reply. The ground trembled, and whistles shrilled as the counselors hurled themselves into the heart of the ruckus. For the next few minutes, the area boiled like a volcano. Pillows shot around like lightning bolts, pew, and the feathers were so thick they obstructed all vision. Then, slowly, the riot began to peter out, since it was a full 10 minutes before the air cleared and silence fell. Slowly, and with much effort, Chip got to his feet. His face was flaming red. He walked through the crowd, which, sensing the intensity of his emotions, parted in front of him. Still he walked until he was directly facing the side wall of the cabin. He stared at it for what seemed like a long time. It's me just acting too much. I'm not paying attention to this story. Oh, stared at it for what seemed like a long time. Then he threw his head back, roared in anger to the sky, lifted his foot, and dealt the cabin a mighty crack. No, kick, and then crack. Got it. A large chunk of the cabin wall splintered away and fell inside the building. A long, jagged split appeared in the wall itself, extending from the hole all the way up to the window. The window frame came loose and the glass shattered. The split divided into a number of smaller cracks, which spidered through the wood up to the roof. A lone roof shingle jarred loose and fell to the floor, landing at Chip's feet with a soft thud. He looked down at it incredulously as the breeze whistled softly through the gaping hole in the cabin. There was an awful silence. Say, came the dry voice of Rudy Miller. It looks as if we're gonna have to sleep in the trees after all. That's the end of that section. We have one more to go. We're gonna be done with this chapter. That was a lot to process. Deep in the wooded area beside the creek, the beaver stirred restlessly. Remember from the dam. Once again, human noise had disturbed him. There had been loud noises when his old dam was destroyed. The dam must remain safe. And they relieve them. So that's the end of chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed that. Coming up is going to be chapter 5, Land Ho, when I feel like doing that. So thank you for joining me, and have a great day.